This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basilelemba.com.
And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Besile Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Besile Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring to you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote. And today's quote is, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. And that is from Henry Ford. With us today on the show, we have someone who has an extremely long career in working in the community with a great many organizations, such as university, non-profit organization, and will be sharing his knowledge with others in the classroom as well as outside the classroom. In addition of all the other duties he has, and responsibility, I should say, he's the current chair of the Northern Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce. Hello, Dr. Butler.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon.
Either way is fine.
Either way, fine. You know my sense of humor has to come in there somewhere.
I'll take good night.
Okay, good. How are you doing today?
Good, how about you, sir?
Fine.
Okay, good. As I mentioned, you have a very long career in serving the community. Can you please sum that to us before we go into the chamber?
Well, I started out in Texas as a little country boy and born and raised there, and went to college in 1951 at Prairie View A&M University, the historical black school there. In fact, and then I came directly into the Army. Commissioned a second lieutenant and spent 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And ended up 30 years later retiring as a colonel, but also I wanted to be a pilot, so I came into the Army in August 55, November 56, I had received my wings. Okay. So that's my first achievement there. So and then I came into the Army and I flew helicopters in Vietnam. If you ever see the movie We Were Soldiers with Mel Gibson, that was my helicopter unit, the 229th. I didn't fly that day. Very few flew if you saw the movie because the LZ landing zone was so small. And I ended up in some very interesting assignments. I came up here in 1969, December the 5th. My wife can remind me of that. She didn't want to leave Alabama. We've only been there 3 months. And I was the first black officer ever assigned in the position at that level, in an officer personnel directorate. And then I went on to spend the next 14 years, basically except for a year in Thailand, and very what they call policy making jobs. Like I was under 4 different presidents. Under Nixon, I had Nixon's flight detachment for training and recruiting, and that's when I first learned about how significant politics are. Then I went on under Ford and Carter to serve at the office of the Assistant Secretary of the Army, MNRA, and the Army Staff, DESPER, the Deputy Chief of Staff of Personnel. And then under Reagan, I served in the Office of Secretary of Defense. So I had I didn't ask for any of those, but it was just where they moved me, and it really opened my eyes, being at that level. And you got to see the policy and the making of the policy, and you didn't deal so much with the what, you dealt with the why. Because until you deal with the why, the what will continue. So the policymakers have got to figure out, why is this happening? So we can put a stop to it. So that's where I am. I got out and I got involved in Rotary in Nome, Alaska. And I came back here. I joined the Mount Vernon Rotary Club.
Okay.
And I went on to become a district governor of District 7610 in 92, 93. I'm also on the Cold War Museum, which is there. It's just getting together. It's going to be a biggie one day. 20 to 25 years, they'll get it all together.
Okay.
I'm on the, I'm a member of the Mount Vernon Lee Chamber of Commerce. I'm also a member of the AUSA, Association of United States Army Fairfax Lee chapter. I'm the vice president for ROTC Affairs, okay, which I go around to the high schools in the spring and the university. George Mason, the only one. And there are a few other things I'm not sure.
Okay, okay.
But I'm heavily involved in the community, and and that was my purpose in life once I decided to, once I got up to the level that I wanted to get out of the Army, get my doctorate, which I do have. I got it from George Mason in '92, the Doctorate of Public Administration, and work with young people. That's been my whole focus, and I'm having so much fun. I teach a class at Mason, and I'm the Associate AD for Community Relations.
Got it. Okay, good. Excellent. So that's quite an extensive career.
Keeps me busy, and I'm 80 years old now, so I have to get that in there. And but I've been blessed to have reasonably good health, and so then I contribute that to the fact I was a pilot for 30 years, and as a pilot, you got to be in pretty good shape, else you lose your flight pay. I had a very, very strong incentive to keep in good shape.
I got you. Okay.
Okay.
Very good, very good. So now, fast forward, now you're the chair of the Chamber of Commerce. So tell us what's happening with the Chamber.
Well,
the Black Chamber of Commerce. Yes.
Okay, yeah, the Northern Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce. I came on the chamber, a friend of mine who was there, he's not there anymore. He was on the board of directors, asked me to join and, you know, to help him out. And I did, and I think it's spring or summer 2013. And then when they had the elections in December of 2013, the board made a decision to elevate me to the chair, which I accepted. And it's a challenge. Given my background, I can see what was wrong, what were things that had to be changed, because I think they started up too soon. They had, without the foundation, and I've learned that when you don't spend any time on the foundation, you start up too soon and it'll come down on you because it can't support it.
Gotcha. You
don't have the support base. So my job now is to go back and build the support base and get this thing going. So as we start up next time, there's no limit to where we can go, because we'd have spent the toil and the problems and dealing with building the foundation. We got a lot of good people out here, and they had some good people in, but it just didn't phase out. So I'm completely not almost redoing my board, those who bringing on people who want to see it happen, and giving them a job, and I'm giving each board member brought on a focus, like bringing you on. I said your membership, period, and your whole focus is that. I've got one person who's only responsible for the gala. Each one has a focus, and that's where I am now. But like I learned very early, the road to success is continuously under construction. Therefore, you don't expect a smooth road. You're going to have bumps, you're going to have detours, you're going to have accidents, but you have to learn, and you don't know where they are or when it's going to happen. So you have to do your homework and eliminate as many as you can, or avoid as many as you can, but you can't avoid them all.
Gotcha.
You know, and then it isn't what happens to you, is how you take it and how you address it. And that's what I think that we've got the talent, we got everything. This time, we're gonna move it. Okay. We would stay in. And I think another thing that helps is that I'm not I don't own a business. And so therefore I'm not profiting anything. Every decision that's made, I pursue would be for the interest of the chamber, and there's nothing in it, in terms of financial, there's no conflict of interest. And I think we're heading to get a full administrative staff where the board of directors don't have to get involved in the day-to-day operation. We're going to get there.
Okay. Very good. Excellent. That's good. So I understand there is a mixer schedule coming up then, I think on June 16th, and then also meet and greet with the Chamber of Commerce and the Board coming up on June 25th, so we get the information out. So folks, you're welcome. I don't know when this show will get to you, but welcome to join the mixer on June the 16th, as well as the meet and greet at the Chamber that will be taking place on June the 25th.
Well, unfortunately, I'm leaving tomorrow morning to my granddaughter's a dance recital, so I won't be there for the 16th, but I will be back Saturday the 20th, and I will be able to
attend the meet and greet.
The meet and greet on the 16th, I can't make that one, but I will be back for that. And I think that this is good. I know there's something on the 24th. They're having a function on the 24th. They're working on it. Harold Blackfoot is working on that for us at a restaurant in that. And what we're doing, we've moved our meetings to Gum Springs now until we can get settled. One, for it's the cost is practically zero to have the meetings there. And the other thing is Gum Springs has a history of, has a very, very interesting black history. When George Washington freed his slaves, he gave each a section, a piece of land, and that's Gum Springs. So I'm moving the chamber into a historical black-based thing and start from there again and move out. So I think that'll be good. I think it's going to work out real good there. So we're bringing on people. We're looking for, if you own a business, look us up. Our website is being improved. One day we'll have our website up, and you'll be able to come in, do anything you want to on the website. It's going to be great.
You can see, folks, the picture, the logo of the chamber right there on the screen. Yeah, very good, very good, excellent. All right, so now what are your long-term future goal of the chamber?
Well, the long-term goal, one, is to make it an established, highly productive organization, because it's just what we need. To do that, we've got to concentrate on membership. We got to redo I think all the pieces are here. It's just we've got to put it together. It's like a crossword puzzle. It's not that the people before us was all over the place. It's just that the pieces are not together now. We've got to put the pieces together. We've got to take our time and do it right. Like I told them the other day, there'll be no such thing. Well, I've learned early, when something goes wrong, initially spend all your time fixing the problem, not the blame.
Got it.
So we don't have time to be pointing fingers and no. We're going to go in there, and then once the problem is fixed, the blame is obvious. But usually it's kind of negative when you first start. People, you did, and we don't want that. We're not blaming anybody. We just say, get your shovels and your picks, and let's go to work and fix this thing. And then once we get it going, and we're bringing in the talent and the people with the background and the experience to do that. We're also going to establish an advisory board. These will be members of the community, mostly who've done very well, the big guys and the big ladies, to offer us advice, to help us. And then just by being associated with them, I think will help them, because success breeds success.
That's right.
And I learned that quickly. If you're going to work with somebody that's successful. Do not find somebody that no. Because and the funny thing about it in the Army, if a guy, if he's been passed over, and like at one time I had a major that had been a captain that had been passed over, and I got out of it from working for him because his vision is where he doesn't see anything beyond where he is, and he tends to see people. If this is good for me, why isn't it good for you? No. So I just find that work only for success people if you can. And it's who you associate with eventually will determine where you go. Because people who are successful, they will not waste time with you if you don't have it.
Very good, very good.
Because you will limit their success. So that's little things that I've learned in 30 years in the Army, and leadership was just one of those things you had to have, and we always said the difference between a leader and a manager. Okay. A manager will always do what is right. He'll follow the book, regardless of the circumstances. The leader will do the right thing. And that's one of the points I make. As long as what you're doing is not unethical, immoral, illegal, or harmful to somebody's health, it's different, but it'll work. It'll work.
Interesting.
It will work, and that's what I'm doing. I'm forming committees, and I don't get involved in a committee decision, and I am requesting each committee to, don't call me every day and ask me a question, and in my opinion, you are in a position to recommend. I learned that when I was working in Office of Secretary of Defense and Secretary of the Army. He sends something down for you to take a look at, and you can write what you want, as long as you're rational, reasonable, relevant, and attend to that. And his job is to accept it, modify it, or reject it. That's why he makes the big bucks. But it's interesting, but you have to give him recommendations. And that's what I'm working on now. Committees will come up with recommendations, not mine, theirs. And then it goes to the board to determine, and usually they're pretty good, because that's where all the haggling goes on down in the committee level. And we learned a long time ago, and I think the committee has learned, what's in the boardroom stays in the boardroom. You don't come out and everything about it. And and I know a lot of times in the Pentagon, in the boardroom, we fight like cats and dogs. And then when we get ready to leave, everybody's all shaking hands and hugging and shaking, and all these things. The people outside never knew.
What's going on?
And they said they shouldn't know, because that's the boardroom. And that's the thing, that what's in the boardroom stays in the boardroom. And it's very professional. So I guess I'm having fun, because I've been through this several times, and so I'm just having fun. And the thing that I get out of it, people say, "What do you get out of it?" I said, "It's what I get out of it is the fact that at my age I can still make a contribution, and I'm giving back. This is my way of giving back. I teach, I work with with those college kids. Give back. If you're able to." If you're blessed to have your health, reasonable health, age is not a factor. In my classroom, I teach one class entitled Administration in the Political System. And in my class, they do not write essays. They only write memorandums, thinking papers, talking papers, and point papers. I remind them that I never wrote one essay in the Pentagon. I wrote a lot of the other things. Other ways, I prepare them. It's a practical class vis-a-vis an academic class. There's no right or wrong answer in the class. And I said, they won't know how you grade a paper, and I hold up the Bible, and I said, this is not a religious class, but this book I've been looking at for over 50 or 60 years, been around over 2,000 years, not one word has changed. But look how many different interpretations we have of this one book, read by different people. No words have changed, but different interpretation. Welcome to the real world. Welcome. Just because something is not as you see it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just looked at differently. So that's what I'm just having fun, but I'm able to maintain my reasonable degree of good health, and I'm gonna, until the big guy decides that it's time to sit down, I'm gonna keep on going, and it makes a difference. It makes a difference to get out of the house, and those young people really keep you going. So I think the chamber, the long-term chamber is to build. Go back and look at some things, spend some time on the foundation, get the right people in the right place, and let it grow.
Okay.
Let it grow.
Very good. Well, it's definitely on track to do that.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, I hope it is. I never know. I try to avoid, that's why I don't have my cell phone or anything, because they say, what do you think about this? Well, no. That's what I want you to do, is think about it. You know, because what I do with my kids, same thing I kind of do with them. With my kids in class, they ask me a question, and I immediately ask them a question. I answer that question with a question. Now, who's thinking? Not me.
Got it.
And then after 2 or 3 of these little things, they will answer their own question. And then I get a little sarcastic, and I say, well, now, this generation gap is something else. You answered your own question. It was up there, but initially you didn't even go looking for it. You wanted somebody to tell you what you already had. I said, my generation, I think we call it thinking. What do you guys call it? They go, all right, professor, all right. But that's it, the class is designed to, not to teach them the answer, but to teach them the process to find the answer.
Got it.
So I'm an old math major, you know, and in algebra, you know, initially you can see the answer. Pretty soon you got to have formulas and everything to find it and think it through. And that's the thing, is to teach the kids how to think, not what to think, but how to think. So I'm having fun with it, and the kids love it. They always, my class is over. I only teach on Fridays. The class is over at, I think it's 4:10 or 4:15, maybe 5:30 before I get out of the classroom. Because they want to, and I break down the formal barrier where, not that they're disrespectful, but they're very comfortable in coming up and asking a question, a personal question. And sometimes I tell them, well, I think you need to talk to mom and dad about this. I'm not. No. I said, they're going to be upset, but in the end, they will respect you. I said, oh, they're going to get upset, but they'll settle down. And in the end, they'll think about it. You know, they'll begin to respect you for having the fortitude to deal with it. And my philosophy teacher taught me this in college. A problem, a sin, or error that you look dead in the eye can harm you no more.
Give it to me again.
A problem, a sin, a error, or whatever situation that you look dead in the eye can harm you no more.
Wow.
He said, because once you deal with it, you're no longer afraid of it. Because but you should acknowledge it first and say, me wrong, me sorry. And once you do that, you can go to work on fixing it. So that's what and I'm having so much fun, as you probably can see. These kids, they're just fabulous. And we totally underestimate them. You know, and they always tease me by saying, someone called me Grandpa. They say it's so easy, it's easier to talk to Grandpa and Grandma because they'll sit and listen to us. They don't hit the ceiling and yelling, what you did, what you did, all that. Say, Mom and Pop, you did what? You know, it takes a while for them to settle down, you know, but they say, you guys just sit there and you listen, and then you say, well, why don't we try this? That's it. So that's it. I'm having fun.
Okay, good. We're very glad. Dr. Butler, rapidly, you got the chance to attend one of our breakfast events a while back, the breakfast event in Fairfax, at the Old Town Hall in the morning?
Yeah, oh yeah. I think I remember that one, recall that one, I should say. I go to so many. Yeah, I've been to expos. I've been to
Which is very good because at the same time now the chamber, what I'm talking about being alive, is now coming out, attending those events, coming to expos, to making itself known.
That's right.
And again, folks, you can see the logo here on at the chamber, so you can on the screen, so you can recognize it, and it's appreciable because now the chamber is getting out, making itself more and more known.
Yeah. And another thing that's good is the multicultural alliance, where the Asian Americans, the Hispanics, and the Blacks are coming together, working on projects and programs, and that's getting more and more momentum. And it makes it's just good to see that, and it gives it just makes it better.
Definitely.
Makes it better.
All right. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming on our show today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's been a long time since I've been on TV, been about 10 years.
Oh, really? Okay, well, we'll get you back.
In Rotary, I get involved in it a little bit. In fact, Channel 10, this is Channel 10, I don't know whether Channel 10 has a Rotary
yeah, they have a TV show as well, yeah.
I've been on that a couple of times.
Okay. Very good.
But
folks,
good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for all you do for the Chamber.
My pleasure, definitely. Okay. And folks, I just want to remind you that we're having our expo coming up on November 6th. We just have one. The next one will be on November 6th. I'll let you know exactly precisely where, and that will be from 8 to 2 p.m., 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And also watch our website, blnbc.com, for our monthly breakfast event. We host them at the Best Western of Fairfax every third or second Thursday of the month. So, and for our expo, for more information, definitely there's room for you as an exhibitor or a sponsor. Say nothing about attending. And the website for that is ultbizexpo.com. ultbizexpo.com. We thank you very much for tuning. We're looking forward to seeing you. Watch us on Channel 10, Cox Channel 10, 3 times a week. Thank you very much. You have a nice evening. Goodbye.
This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basilelemba.com.